Hi ladies, it's Erin Etheridge, and today we are talking about our Mystic Melodies eyeshadows. And so I have all our tools set out for us today, and we're going to be going over the pink concealer with the concealing and foundations brush. I'm going to be talking about that. I have our organic mascara, which I already have the first coat on. We'll be putting on a second coat afterwards, and I'll talk to you about why. And then we have our trio, which includes our plum, frosted taupe, and kaleidoscope. So it comes in a trio like this. It's $24 for all these. You've got your crease, your base, and your highlighter, all included for $24. We've got 3 different options for this trio. And so I'm going to show you what that looks like on today. I already have it out on my palette, and you can see some of the colors we're working with. They're going to be purple based and a taupe. The kaleidoscope is like a iridescent kind of look to it. So I've got a little bit out on our palette to work with. Let me show you in the catalog. So it's actually on page 17 of our catalog too, so you can see it's these right here. Beautiful purple colors. So we're going to put that on today. All right, so let's just jump in. I'm going to start with the concealer. And the reason why I do a pink concealer is because it brightens your eyes, and it hides any fatigue that you have, any just tired look that you have, which if you're mamas or working or even aging, you know, you're going to naturally have that. So I'm going to put this on and show you how easy it is. I just put a tiny, tiny dot. A little bit goes a long way. Using our concealer brush, you can see it's flat here, so you can really get into those spaces. So what I'm doing is I'm doing any circles under the eyes. I'm going to go ahead and take care of those. And then on the insides of your eyes right here is also a great place to do it. It really highlights your eyes. And then if I have any left on my brush, I go up here on the brow, because that's just going to highlight the brow area. All right, so you can see right away it's already opened my eyes and brightened it. So I think it also makes a great base for adding on your eyeshadows. And so it's going to make it stick well. You get the same effect with the primer, except for this is going to make it a lighter, more brightened color. So that is our Flawless Color Concealer in the pink brightening. All right, so now we talked about the mascara. Now, the reason why we are adding mascara at the beginning and the end, which I've already done mine just to save a little time, you do it at the end again because the minerals will naturally fall on your lashes, and that will give you more volume. So when you put the next coat of mascara on, then it has that extra volume on from the minerals that you added. All right, so you've got a couple options when it comes to brushes for your eyeshadows. You have an eyeshadow brush, which you can see as I'm turning it is rounded and then flattened. And then you have a crease eyeshadow brush. So you can see as I'm turning that, it is round all the way around. Now, I like to use both of them because this crease brush is great for getting into the crease of your eye. And then eyeshadow brush you also could use that way because it is flattened, but you could go either way. Now the crease brush is only available in our full brush set, which is a great deal. It's like $48 for, I think it's 8 brushes. It's a beautiful set, and I use all of them. So I need to do a video one day just showing you guys all the brushes, how to use all of them in one use. All right, so I'm going to use the crease brush today, and let me know if you have questions about that. All right, so I'm going to start with our, let's start with the frosted taupe. So anytime you're looking at ways to put on makeup and eyeshadows, there's a million different ways you can do it. So I'm going to try to keep it simple. All right, so this one I'm going to go essentially this whole half circle, filling all of that in. And what that is going to do is to just create a good base to add on the highlighter and the crease. You can see I have this poured out onto a palette, but you don't have to have a tray like this in order to do this. You can do it even in the lids of the eyeshadows. That's what I usually do, but I wanted you guys to be able to see the colors next to each other like this. All right, so you can see that I have just a good kind of base on that, going from all over the lid to the crease. All right, so I'm gonna kind of flick this out a little bit, and that just kind of gets the minerals out of the brush. All right, so let's add in the darker color. Right here, I'm gonna get a little bit of the plum. Now, plum is a color that scares a lot of people because it looks so dark. But let me show you how you can use it just to add the crease. Let me see, there's one. Hey, Ben.
Sister is not wanting me have a turn on the swing.
Okay, well, there's 2 swings. She'll let you swing with her. All right, so we're gonna go in the crease. You wanna say hi, Talon?
Hi.
All right, so I'm going into the crease and I'm just kind of patting it in there. So you can already see there's a lot more definition added to my eye just by having the crease added. Think of it as kind of like adding in the shadow. So when you're adding in the shadow of your eyes, it's going to be naturally where the crease is. You see our eyeshadows?
Yeah. And there's a big one that I didn't know that on.
You want some lip balm?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right, so now we're gonna add in our kaleidoscope color. Now the kaleidoscope color, you can see right here. You can't tell, I think, in the view that you guys have, but it's actually a very iridescent color. Let me see if it shows up a little more on the brush. It looks kind of nude colored, but it's actually kind of like a pearl iridescent. So what I'm gonna do with my highlighter, and this is with any of the trios that you try, I'm gonna put a little bit up here, and then I'm gonna put it right, like a dot right here, and then right on the inside. And what that does is you are highlighting all of the places that essentially would be raised, like the curve of your eye, eyelid right there. This is the same kind of technique that they use with, I'll loosen that up a little bit, when you're painting, you know, acrylic paints or something like that. You're looking at the shadows and where it would be raised. And then you're also creating the illusion of very bright, open eyes. And that's really what you're going for whenever you're adding eyeshadows. You're creating the shadows and the highlights. And you do that a lot the same ways that you would in art class. All right, so now the big difference between doing eyeshadows these days versus like in the 80s and 90s is we like to blend more. And so this is where you're gonna blend out the lines. And I've kind of erased my brush by just kind of flinging out the minerals. All right, and then I'm gonna blend it all in. With the darker one, another thing you can do is to go a little bit under the eyes, and that's gonna give you a little bit more of like the smoky eye look. But that's really it. I mean, you're just looking at the eye kind of like you would a paint by number, where there's like certain places that you put the color, and then the most important part though is blending all of that in at the end. All right, so I have a kabuki brush. I like to do this just to kind of clean up under my eye if anything were to get under, but I think I did pretty good this time. All right, and then the last thing we would do is our mascara, other than adding lips. So you always add some kind of lips. All right, so I'm just gonna do the top because I'm just adding on the extra ends of that. And that's eyes. I mean, that's really it. So you have those 3 colors. You've got your base, your crease, and your highlighter, and you can do that with any of our trios. So last thing I like to do, here's our Cabernet lipstick. I'm gonna put this on light just to show you. I love this color. All right, and that's it. So that is called our Mystic Melody eyeshadow trio with the plum, frosted taupe, and kaleidoscope, like what you would see in page 17. So that's it. All right, ladies, what do you guys think? Let me know if you thought this was an easy application, if you love using purple for your eyeshadows, and if you have any questions. All right, thanks. Bye.